Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Writes. This is The Winter of Truth, and it's episode, I want to say 17. Anyway, this has been a difficult start to my day, and I usually write early in the morning, and I have not been able to write early in the morning because of technical issues, let's say. So, this will be a bit of afternoon writing, which tends to be more like editing than anything else. But let's get started. I've got a 100% and 50% zoom. I've got my keyboard on my lap to reduce the sound of the tick-attack, as you might be listening to. Some of you might enjoy that, but I figured most of you don't. So, Finara had been captured. She's going through the whole process, and we're going to have some more time with the rebels for a little while, until a snow beast, a wampa, that chose to just show up and really wreak havoc. And we'll go from there. All right, it's almost night, Arena said. The young woman had compiled every tool had carried and was picking the choice to add to her own kit. The spanner was a target. The multi-use, the adjustable spanner. And it was a target. The target of her thievery. As was the 6-in-1 driver. The new Duratongs, and I actually had to look that up as to what was a synonym for pliers, and well, there you go. The Duratongs and because I looked that up, I couldn't help but do a little bit of writing before interruptions occurred. With the latest heat dissipator wrap from Ikoratech. Also got palmed. The rest she didn't seem to care about. I don't want to flip over to the site with the pilot stuff because there's issue involved with that. But needless to say, there's stuff that pilots have to carry with them in order to do minor repairs that they may not be able to go to base for, or they just might want to do themselves for whatever reason. If they need to open up a control panel and get at something, you have to do that in flight, or you have to do it on the ground if you have to set down. Anyway, you need to have tools if you're a pilot. And Iran, I don't know how to pronounce it. I can barely spell it. All right, the rest she didn't seem to care about, which was probably foolhardy. All right. Every pilot needed tools on them. At least close by. There were things that went on. I don't know. That happened away from base. There were things that happened away from base. Had to be field fixed. Was just the way things were. A good engineer could foresee trouble coming, but the necessary downtime for such things got in the way of military operations. That was one of the things she'd had to that was one of the things she'd had to consider when redesigning the AT-AT armor. Access to interior systems had to occur, or else minor troubles troubles could become major ones. Major ones. An immobile walker was no use, even if its skin was blaster-proof. Alright. Got what you needed? Finara asked the other woman. Probably. Said, chipper tones that grated on the sole. You really know your stuff. Know your kits. That's something Imperials. You really know your kits. You really know your kits. That's my job. That's my job. I can tell. Alright. You ever had to fight? Yeah, she wants to know if you have. Irana is a fighter pilot and full of piss and vinegar. I can tell. You ever pull a trigger? You ever had to pull a trigger? Ever asked? Sure. On the range or on the field? Finara hesitated. Sure, she could tell the other woman a few lies. How she set the record for kills in the simulator. In the simulator, both AT-ATs and ATSTs. Frack. Tell her she was a rebel killing machine. Tell her. Not that. Tell her how she set and get this simulation part. She's an engineer. She has a desire to state the truth and follow through, because that's the only way you make anything as an engineer. If you just go with lies like, oh, this will hold, or that'll work, or this sealant is just going to be fine up to, 400 degrees when it's only rated to 240, somebody's going to call you out on your bullshit, and you won't be an engineer for much longer. But no, that do any good. As things stood, and her hesitation. I'm thinking that's a no. I'm thinking that's a no. You've never put training to the test. You obviously have. Did you gloat over the dead? Other woman's grin faded. she said. 5 times. Never do that. It's hard enough. It's hard enough to pull the trigger. It's hard enough to pull the trigger the first time. Without trying to talk it up afterward. Not like that. Sure, state your kills with pride, but don't talk about the people. But don't talk about the people. Went down with the ship. How long have you flown for the Empire? How long have you flown for the Empire? For the rebels? Less than a year. Bush pilot, out of which is what a lot of the rebel pilots were, was bush pilots. You can't get really academy training and then defect quite so easily. They kind of screen for that sort of thing. And while a lot of people go by the wayside, Han Solo obviously is one of those things where he did have Imperial training and he was a pretty hot-handed pilot, but if you've watched Solo, you know that he didn't get to exactly fly for them. Bush pilot out of... doesn't matter. Not a lot of formal training for us. Old hands. Not a lot of formal training for us. Old hands. And keep us going. There's less of them now. You imps. That. Yes, we do. Finara. Agreed. Did you fly recently against the Aaron Hoth? Yep. Rebel said. Evident pride. Red Squadron. Red Squadron. Red Squadron. Red Squadron. Tail end. By the stars, but it was a hard one. Yeah, and that's everything. They're built that way. Agreed. Then recalled chatter she'd heard. Though they might have clipped that battle, the memory was still there. Did you get a chance to set your harpoon? Get a chance to set your harpoon? Nah. Gunner missed. The legs are big. Apparently not that big. Big. The magnet just right through, and that was that. That was what? One shot, and the rest was trying to be a distraction. It said, even so, we could have taken them. Couldn't have taken them. Worked too. Yeah. Why were you idiots went right for the shield generator. Yeah, that's why we're all here. You just went right for the shield generator. Other let out a chuckle. Perfect bait. Gave us time to retreat. Gave us time to retreat. Gave us time to retreat. And get out. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Yes, we did. You didn't. We're the exception. The transports got away. It said. That's just rebel propaganda. It's just rebel propaganda. I saw them go. Go. Well, trying to fix my speeder. While trying to fix my speeder. Busted stabilizer. Got froze up. I was flying in circles. Circles. I saw them go. Let's pad that out a little. I saw them go. From your cockpit, I was out trying to fix my speeder. A likely excuse, Finara said. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Stabilize one of the flying circles. Circles? Yeah, I could only, yeah, I was locked into a circuit. Thankfully, I could vary the engine thrust and elongate things a little. So, loose ovals until. So you flew loose ovals until I found a place to set. Till I found a place to set down. Knock the ice free. Didn't last long. Didn't last long. Didn't last long, but with the heater mouthing, you do what you can. I can't believe spell check isn't going to catch me on mouthing. Apparently it considers that a word. Oh, wait, whatever. Alright, but you do what you can, right? Sure. But the transports that got out got shot up. Shot up in orbit. The Imperial fleet is immense. Yeah. Yeah. Did they talk about the grandfather gun? Talk about the grandfather gun? The what? The big ion cannon. They called it Pappy. Pappy. You know, the one who looks out for his kids. I don't know where that the ion gun came from in Hoth. I really don't. All right. Well, it doesn't matter. It's, if you remember the thing, it was a big ion cannon. So, the one who looks out for his. Got it from who knows where, and set it up. Was firing to beat the band. Knocking out Star Destroyers. It's not gonna start. They're a path. Knocking out Star. No. That's impossible. And that's why you imps fail. That's why you imps fail. You don't think big. You don't think tactically. I mean, you do, but it's a blunt sort of thing. We're the scalpel. To use my sister's. We're the scalpel, to use my sister's words. Not a hammer. Us, we're the scalpel. Not a hammer. An ion cannon? Finara thought. It'd have to be huge. I don't believe you. It's true. The woman replied. I didn't see it. Happy's still out there. Mostly. The ice beneath it started to melt when it got warmed up. So it went down a bit. And then the top part got bombed because it was still firing. All the while. But it's out there. Oh, okay, I can have her visit the ion cannon. Yeah, Yeah, put in a visit for the ion cannon. Not official not official prop. Someone's out there. Enough to prove me right. Enough to prove me right and you wrong. Everyone has said. And rolled up the remains of Finara's toolkit. That went into one of her pockets. There. All done. Can I have my tools? No. You're like not to try and shank us with well, what would you'd with the oh, you'd find you'd try real hard. I expect. No. No. Stay here. Try and keep warm. Like I said, the night's coming. Other one left. A few moments later, the big soldier, Kent, returned. Feeling all right? Asked. She took my tools. Yep. It's called salvage. I feel exposed without them. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. What does it matter? They're mine, and I feel exposed without them. Yeah, I guess I can see that. Kent said. Hungry? Not really. Thirsty then? The last of the adrenaline goes. You'll feel it. Adrenaline? Finara asked. You didn't feel... Well, she did. A little... Oh, yeah. It happens. Most people, some people pass out. Some people pass out. Those that never had any training had to take a real risk. Kent said, and passed over of the bags as okay. He let her sit. He let her sit. It happens. A sip revealed that it was the coldest, freshest. There's also got to be coldest, freshest, and freshest exhaust tainted ever had. All right, what ammonia tainted water she'd ever had? What is that? That taste? She asked. She'd gulped down enough to steady her nerves. Freshest tainted water. Ammonia, he said. There's some in the atmosphere. There must have been some. Some in the atmosphere. At some point, it's locked into the snow. It's locked in the snow. It gets locked in the snow, and when you melt the snow, made a face, but didn't let go of the bag. I get it. All right. Don't you have a filter? Nope. Can't you make one? Don't know how. I mean, what kind of filter? A very simple kind. Which means I have to research how to scrub ammonia from water. I don't know if it's a simple charcoal filter or what have you, but we'll figure it out. A very simple kind. I said, need my tools, and I'll make one. Cat smiled. Good try. No tools. You're dangerous. You're dangerous. Those, I expect. You'd be dangerous though. You'd be dangerous with those. And little ammonia never killed anyone. Finara raised an eyebrow out. Let's put that. I mean, I'm no chemist, but anyway. These idiots want to kill themselves. They kill themselves eventually. All she had to do was wait. All she had to do was wait. While she was here, did you get a chance to see the fighting? Sure. I was hip deep in it. The trenches. The trenches, Western trenches. Western trenches. Burned out one rifle. Fire. At the Stormies. Burned out one rifle. Firing at the Stormies. Good bit of work. Then, if it, or the, armored giants. Alright, so now she's gonna get a chance to see the trooper's eye view of it. Ask about harpoons. Who took down the AT-ATs? Skywalker. He was there? He was there? Fighting? Doesn't he fly X-Wings? Red Squadron. Red Squadron, or was it Rogue Squadron? I don't know. Red Squadron. Right? They did double duty. Speeders. Only so many pilots. Alright, that'll give us stuff for next time where she's going to talk to Kent and figure out his point of view on things. And then we're going to go to sleep, and I've either got to have her figure out a way to release herself from the binders. In fact, binders made it difficult to grab. Not impossible. Okay, so there we go. And we'll move on. We'll move on. Tomorrow morning, I imagine. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Alan Wright's The Winter of Truth. We're moving things along. We're going to get to a Wampa attack, a little chaos with some creatures running around. Finara will get free. She'll flee into the night. She'll have to take shelter in one of the down speeders, and it'll have to be Luke Skywalker's speeder that was half crushed by an AT-AT, or partially crushed, or mostly crushed, but not completely so. And we'll move from there. If she can deal with Dak, the corpse of Dak, and retrieve set things up so she doesn't, freeze overnight by using the fuel cells in there. And maybe find one of Skywalker's mementos that he left behind in his speeder. And that'll bring us to other stuff and move the story along. A little bit of slow going, but this is about the pace it takes with writing. It takes time. You want it to be good, it takes time. I mean, I could pound out something very quickly, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense to be incoherent, and perhaps the ravings of a madman, if they aren't already now. But you've got to take things, you have to pace yourself, but also strike while the iron is hot. It's a balancing act. So, I hope you've enjoyed this, and hope you stay safe out there. Thanks.